And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we got it. We got loud. We good? Can everybody hear us? Loud and clear? All right, we're good. Hey, welcome in to Giangelo's. We're inside, dude.
That's
We're
right.
inside. We made it. I feel like I'm at the Foster's house all over again. Took me like a year and a half to get inside, but we're here at beautiful Giangelo's where the food is great and the company is just as good. It is a South Range Raiders show. We are heading into Week 14, and I'm joined by the head football coach of the South Range Raiders, Mr. David Rach, ladies and gentlemen. Did you notice the shirt?
I did.
First thing I had to do yesterday, I was like, it's too good. You interview The Rock wearing The Rock shirt.
Cool.
It's only fitting. So, I mean, you have been able to build this legacy very early on. First year, expectations obviously high with Coach Yeagley. What has this year been like for you? I mean, there's a lot of people, and I think like the seniors, they talk about what has it been like for the seniors to follow up in the footsteps of the 20 seniors that left. You have had a completely different lens, this year than other. We talk about it a lot, but as we continue to go deeper and deeper into the playoffs, Week 14, I mean, you're 3 weeks away from essentially doing what you set out to do in your first year. What's that like for you? Pressures? I mean, what is it from your standpoint as a first-year coach? How are you feeling?
Oh, it's been crazy. I don't know that that I feel a ton of pressure as much as the standard never really changed, and I don't think it mattered who was taking over. It's such a nice job in terms of the community support that we get, and just the kind of kids that we have, and there's so many advantages that we have that other places don't have. And the one thing that I wanted to make sure of in my first year was that everyone understood that the standard's not going to change and that the expectations aren't going to change. And I'm fortunate, and we're fortunate that I think we've done that so far, but obviously we have a long way to go.
It sounds an awful lot like a guy that coaches in Pittsburgh. The standard is the standard, right? So yeah. I know that you don't like that, but I'm cool with it.
There you go.
When you're talking about this week to week, crank it up. Okay, we'll do the best we can. How's that? Even more? We're going to get feedback.
Hello? You got it?
Is that better? Okay. I blame Melissa Starkey. That's all I'm blaming.
Don't get her fired up.
Get her fired up. So, I mean, from your standpoint, when you say the standard is the standard, what's that standard? I mean, everybody, it's a great coach's cliche, but, let's dive into that a little bit. What's the South Range standard of excellence?
I think we want to act the right way off the field and in the classroom and the community. And then on the field, I think, the standard is that we're going to show up every Friday night prepared and with a deep-rooted belief that we can win the football game, and I think we expect to win. I don't say that in an arrogant way. I think when you're able to witness first person the kind of work, the kind of preparation that our kids put in on and off the field year round, I think it's hard not to be inspired and to believe in them. And to believe that we're supposed to win a football game when we show up. I have a hard time believing that every school, around is their kids are working the way our kids are.
So when you look at, I mean, everybody talks about the 3 phases, right? That is football, offense, defense, special teams. You have to be not only proficient, but you have to excel in all 3 aspects of those games. Win 2, right? You have to win 2 to win the game at this point, but you want all 3 because there's some teams that are just as good on all 3 fronts, and you got to have a couple things go your way. When you look at the first 3 weeks of the playoffs and what South Range has been able to do, can you grade offense, defense, special teams for us?
Yeah, I think in each one of those games, I think they would probably get different grades. Overall, I think we've played really good complementary football in all 3 phases. I think last week, the last 2 weeks, I think we've done a really good job of that. You go back 2 weeks ago, the Ridgewood, the defense gets a shutout. The offense, I think, scores 38. And I thought the kicking game was excellent all night. I don't think we missed a PAT in a few weeks now. Knock on wood, obviously. But they're supposed to be free points. We better make
Butch
them.
is coming after.
Yeah, that's right. But and then, you look at last week, I thought, early on in the game, our complementary football, we kind of struggled in all 3 phases. I think special teams were a little bit a little rough early on for us. I thought defensively we were trying to hold up, but we were giving up a couple balls. And then offensively, we were having a hard time flipping the field. And then I think once that game swung, it was a great example of what it takes to win in the postseason. You come out at halftime, and it starts with great kick coverage. I think we covered the kick really well. We get a 3-and-out on defense, and then a giant punt return there by Brady. And I thought the game really swung, in that series of 4 or 5 plays. Then we go punch it in 2 plays. So it's just so critical when you can get, especially with us. I feel like when we have the momentum in our corner and when we get rolling, we're really, really hard to beat. And I think you never know when that play is going to come that sparks you and really harnesses the momentum. But I thought last week was probably the best we've been in terms of really getting all 3 on the same page at the same time.
I think it's really interesting because, having Andy in the booth has brought a whole new light into the way we call a game and the way I think South Range fans and families kind of break down a game and watch. And the thing about it for me is he said over and over again that this community is a very intelligent community when it comes to football. They know football very well. They understand what they're talking about when he's talking about dimes and nickels and all that stuff. When you're trying to, break this down and like be a part of the community, I'm sure you get the same questions that I get, probably even worse, when they say, hey, in order to beat Perry this week, we're going to have to start out a lot faster than we did last week against Clearview. When you hear those things, what's going on in your head?
Oh, everyone's got opinion, and we're obviously so fortunate that we have such an intelligent fan base because that's a direct, result of the fact that we have a football town, and that gives us so many advantages. It's funny, you're going to talk to 3 kids tonight. So if you, Brady, Heath, and Gus, all 3 of their parents or grandparents were coaches of mine growing up.
Oh, wow.
So Brady's dad coached me, Gus's grandfather coached me, and Heath's grandfather coached me. So, obviously those guys are ingrained in the program. They understand football. They understand what's going on. I think there's a lot more to it once you watch the film. We're lucky as coaches and players that we're able to go back and rewatch it and really find out what the story was. And to be honest with you, I know on the scoreboard it looked like we didn't start real fast last week, and we were in a dogfight there. But sometimes football is hard, and there's times where you don't have to play poorly to not have it, look great on the scoreboard. And credit to Clearview, they did some things that made it tough for us, and they made some plays. But again, we've talked all year as a football team and just said, like, we're trying to make teams crack, down the stretch. And so, there's times in a heavyweight boxing match where you're throwing jabs for the first 6 rounds, but round 7, the bell goes off and you come out hammering. So, it's not like we're trying to keep the score close or trying not to get a fast start. We are, but I think sometimes, the scoreboard doesn't always indicate how the game's going. And I thought we were playing a lot better early on than what the scoreboard showed last week.
Well, and the term rock fight is, no pun intended, it's turned into a thing, a buzzword at the next levels and talking about the way that the Steelers play football and the Browns play football. When your offense isn't clicking, they call it a rock fight. But really, that's just 2 teams trying to figure it out. And sometimes that's just having 2 really good defenses going head to head. So when you're seeing that, obviously, and I said it last week, South Range is one of the best teams at adjusting at halftime, and certainly it showed in the Clearview game. But Perry, when people talk about Perry, they're the number 1 seed for a good reason. They're a good ball team. They didn't lose a whole lot last year after you guys beat them. So coming into this year's game, what are some of the keys that you see as to making sure that the scoreboard still reads a 48-21 South Range favor, or just win by 1 in South Range favor?
We're 12-1 now. The one team that we lost to is playing against Massillon. USA Today top 25 team in the country. They're playing them in the regional championship this week. So I think that our recipe has to be more of the same. I think if you look at the games that we've had success in, we've stopped their run and we've ran the ball and played great special teams, try to protect the football. I think it's more of the same in that respect. Obviously, they present some challenges that are a little bit unique to them. Every team does, and they're well coached. They're a great football team. Having said that, I think we're pretty good when we're right, and if we prepare the way we're supposed to, I think we can go out and make our town proud and play a great football game. We'll see what the scoreboard says, but I like our kids in those kind of matchups.
The running game has been so instrumental this year, and I think everybody that was watching, whether they were in the stadium or on YSN, held their breath for a little bit when they saw 26 go down. When you see, injuries are part of the game, though every coach is going to tell you that. Every parent's going to understand that. But when you see your leader, a guy that rushes for 2,000 yards go down, you got great running backs behind him, but that's still a significant loss if it's a lengthy loss. Is that something that you can point to and say, hey, we're trying to get him back healthy as fast as we can?
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, even from obviously we have a lot of guys that carry the ball at a really high level. You also understand there's a human element. Here's a kid that this program, this football team, this game means so much to him, and you'd hate to see him have to miss a game, this late in the season as a senior. He knows his days are numbered, and I think that's a big part of why he works the way he does, and he just has such a mature outlook, such a great leader for us. So obviously we're doing everything we can to keep him as healthy as we can, and to get him as healthy as fast as we can. So there again, we need our seniors to play their best ball. Our seniors need to do their best rehab. Our seniors need to do their best, strength training. And nobody understands that as much as he does. So he's had a ton of carries this year. I think he's averaging 20 carries a game. He understands what he has to do to protect his body and to recover with his body Monday through Thursday in order to be ready to go on Fridays. And I suspect that this spike will be ready to go.
People don't realize how much, especially this time of the year, it's a battle of attrition. It's who's healthy, how healthy, and when can they or if they can get on the field. I mean, you don't have to give us coach talk or what you guys talk about in the locker room, but like when you think about that, it seems like this time of year when anybody goes down, what's going on? You're almost a parent of those kids.
Yeah.
What's going on in the back of your mind?
I mean, so many things. I think, like you said, the human element is that you feel terrible for the kids. We have some guys right now that aren't playing football, and haven't for a couple of weeks that your heart breaks for, and we're trying everything we can to get them looked at and to get them back as fast as possible. There's the coaching aspect of it is you're trying to find ways to adapt and improvise it as fast as you can, and it's not always, hey, we can put this guy in for him. There's a chain reaction that occurs when you're making moving parts, especially at a small school. A lot of our guys are going both ways. So, when your backup running back is also your starting Mike linebacker or Sam linebacker, now you're shuffling guys around. And, I think it makes it really tough. And as coaches, you have to look at it and you have to try to really assess, where can we get bodies from? Who else can we move around to try to fill as many gaps as we can? Essentially try to get your best players on the football field.
When you look at the overall, and we still got a road to go, right?
Yeah.
3 weeks to go. When you look at this path, this journey that you've been on, how do you summarize it? I mean, how do you, like, at this point, have you had a chance to even step back and be like, wow, look, we're going again?
You know what? I haven't had a chance to reflect on it a whole lot. Part of what I love about coaching, and, there's obviously, to be transparent with you, there's things that I love about being the head coach, and there's things that I could, probably leave it.
Absolutely.
As far as being the head
coach. As with any job.
Yeah, exactly. But the one thing that I think I love the most about it is, to me, it's a non-negotiable because of what I owe to the kids, to be on it every day and to be accountable and to try to bring it and to do the best job I can every day. And so because of that, I think I get a little bit overwhelmed maybe at times with the process and not given a chance or not getting a chance, I guess, to reflect on things a whole lot. But it's been special, and I'm so proud. I was getting teased by some of our coaches and kids last week about one of my reactions on the sideline. I was getting pretty wound up, but I take so much pride in watching the way those guys compete, the way they play, and how much belief and how much love they play for one another, and that's probably the most rewarding part about the head coaching deal, and that's probably the thing that I have had the most time to reflect on.
You and I went back and forth this weekend a little bit, but one of the things that I need your help on, because I still don't understand it to this day, and maybe you don't either. What constitutes a forward fumble, and why in the world is it still allowed on a fourth down situation? Explain, like, you were down there on the field. What were the officials telling you, explaining themselves? Because the way I understand it, you can't, especially on a fourth down, you can't move that forward because otherwise you would do it all the time. Because what do you have to lose?
So I don't know. I know there's obviously a certain amount of rules that are I think exclusive to just high school ball.
Right.
And I just went out and said he can't advance a fumble on fourth down, and he said that's not a high school rule. So I just said okay and walked away. I don't know. I probably should have looked since then, but it is ironic because that's the second week in a row that's occurred for them. They actually scored on Norway. A similar situation. They get stopped on 4th and goal. and the kid fumbles it forward, they recover it in the end zone for a touchdown.
So is that something that we can teach our guys? Like if we're going for it on fourth down, just
roll it up there.
Just roll it up
Yeah.
and recover it.
You know what? I don't know. I
That's backyard ball.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed to say, like, I don't know the rule book as much as I should as a head coach. There's not a ton of stuff that I'm not familiar with in it, but they're always changing, and there's a lot to go through there. So, I don't want to speak on what the rules should be. I guess there's got to be a reason for it, right?
It's crazy. To me, I'll say it. It's a dumb rule, and wherever they lose the football, that's where it should be down. I'll say it. I'll be that guy.
You would think so.
All right. You know what it's time for? I'm catching you off guard with this one. It is the first annual Fantasy Thanksgiving Draft with David Rock.
Oh.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't know what the situation is for Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because it's the night before Thanksgiving.
Right.
Here doing our show. So the Fantasy Thanksgiving Draft, I'll let you have the first pick, right? But I'm taking it next year when we do this all again.
Okay.
It's a 5-round draft. Okay. You can take whatever you want. You can pull out like family recipes, but you get 5 picks.
Okay.
And you will be graded on these picks by your players, I promise you.
Just one at a time?
One at a you, me, you, me, you, me.
All right.
Not snake. We're not doing that, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Wait. I have to do it. With the first pick of the Thanksgiving draft, David Rock selects
buttered noodles with gravy.
Oh, my. That's a reach.
Yeah.
No,
it's not.
I see. I love them, but that's a reach.
Nope.
I'm taking fried turkey, number 1 overall. I just got a franchise quarterback.
You're going to go to sleep early.
All right. Your second pick.
Deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs.
Yeah.
Stuffing.
Hey, I don't like stuffing.
You don't. Oh, my gosh.
No.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Third pick.
I'll go with
deviled eggs at 2, man.
I'm going to go pickled eggs at 3.
Pickled eggs?
Yeah.
Well, I can get behind. Are those the pink ones?
Yeah,
I can get behind.
I don't know.
I don't think. I mean, you're bringing in all the different stuff.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah,
this is off the beaten path.
Yeah,
I got to go mashed potatoes.
Oh, that was a strong one.
Number 3.
That was an oversight on my part.
Yeah, that's your blindside tackle right there.
Yeah,
that's your go-to. The gravy's got to be included, right?
Oh yeah, but I had a sleeper. I had up my sleeve. I had a quarterback in the 4-hole. Ham.
Ham?
Yeah.
For Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The pig gets overlooked by the turkey for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Is this like? Are you baiting me right here?
No.
You gaslighting me?
No, I'm not.
I feel like you're just dangling a carrot. Like this actually appears on your Thanksgiving table.
Ham?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Butter noodles, I believe.
Yeah.
That's a new thing for me. I've
deviled
never...
eggs and pickled eggs. That's a staple.
Pickled eggs.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. With the fourth pick, I'm gonna go cranberry sauce. I'm a huge cranberry sauce guy.
You know what they say about cranberry sauce? That's like the eggs backup. The pink
back
eggs.
Up to the eggs?
Yeah, like they're like a side piece for the eggs. The
No
pink
way.
eggs. Yeah.
No.
That's the main dish. You're like the cranberries. Like okay.
Oh no, you've never had Sarah Yoakley's cranberry
I'll take one
sauce.
out of pity.
I love cranberry. All right, your fifth and final pick of the first annual Thanksgiving draft here on YSN.
Oh man. You already took mashed potatoes.
Oh, if you don't take this, man, this is the biggest 5th round pick.
I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss it.
Pressure's on. I mean, is there more pressure right now with this 5th pick or on Friday night against Perry? That's the question.
I'll just take your standard roll or biscuit, whatever.
Oh my gosh, you're so boring.
What
dude.
were you going to go with?
Green bean casserole.
Oh.
All day.
I don't really eat a whole lot of vegetables. I don't.
You're slim and trim. Don't eat any vegetables, but you eat eggs and all kinds of stuff. Interesting. This is blowing me away. Dude, good luck to you on Friday. Can't wait to talk to you. See you. And good luck to the South Range Raiders as they take on the Perry Pirates this Friday, 7 o'clock, audio-only broadcast right here on ysnlive.com. We'll take a break. Heath Krause will come and talk to us about his season so far here on